Netflix's Stranger Things, Hawkins Horrors, a collection of terrifying tales, by Matthew J. Gilbert. 11:58 p.m. Midnight was rapidly approaching. They needed to get to Steve and Robin before it was too late. "Step on it, will ya? Time's a-wastin'," Dustin shouted. "Don't shout at me," Nancy shot back. "I'm going the speed limit. We have children in the car." Erica poked her head into the front seat. "Are you talking about me?" "Yes, I'm talking about all of you," Nancy said, eyes in the rearview mirror. She scanned the faces of Lucas, Erica, Max, and Dustin. They all looked back at her, a lineup of impatient faces crammed into the back seat. "You guys are acting like this is a life-and-death situation." Like a chorus, they replied in unison. "It is!" "It is," Mike added, fidgeting in the passenger seat next to her. He tapped the clock on the car's dashboard. "We've only got 2 minutes. Here's the turn." "I know where it is," Nancy said, cutting the wheel hard. With the squeal of rubber, the Wheeler family car came careening out of the darkness. It nearly clipped the curb, veering into the parking lot of the Hawkins Strip Mall. During the day, this place was buzzing with shoppers, skaters, and people of all ages. But the car's headlights told a different story right now. At midnight, everything looked like it was covered by a blanket of inky shadows. Even the revolving sign for the Palace Arcade had gone dark. The streetlights flickered weakly until they suddenly died, succumbing to a massive power outage that was wreaking havoc across all of Hawkins. It was a total blackout for miles, and it had happened in a matter of seconds. The kids were so focused on speeding to the video store, they hadn't noticed the shadowscape that awaited them. Nancy turned in and stopped next to the only other car in the desolate parking lot, a purple BMW. Harrington's. Dustin had his face wedged against the backseat window, but he could still see the familiar ride through the condensation on the glass. "Thank goodness they're still here! Let's go!" The kids stumbled out of the car even before the engine could wheeze to a stop. One by one they lined up, knocking on the glass doors of their secret meeting place, the epicenter of culture and entertainment for miles around, a sanctuary for outcasts, and a place of salvation from a weekend doomed to boredom. Family video. Within moments, the silhouette of someone perfectly coiffed came to the door and unlocked it. "What have I told you savages about banging on the windows?" Steve asked, suddenly illuminating his face with a flashlight. They all gave him the obligatory apology before dropping the courtesy and pushing their way past him into the video store. "Why is it all dark? Did the lights just go out?" Nancy asked, locking the car. Steve held the door for her. "Literally just happened like 5 minutes ago. Robin and I were about to bail." "What about the midnight movie?" "That's the thing about VCRs, Nance. They don't turn on when there's no power. Crazy, huh?" "Someone got up on the wrong side of the hairspray today." "Someone has been restocking while someone else has been pretending to restock." He meant Robin, who was currently sitting on the front desk countertop, a flashlight in one hand and a package of red rope licorice in the other. She gave Nancy a wave as she entered the shadowy video store. "Welcome to the video store," Robin said in a spooky deep voice. "At the end of the world." Then she dropped the voice and perked up, all bubbly. "Candy?" "Red licorice?" Nancy asked. "I couldn't pry the popcorn machine open," Robin replied. "It doesn't just open when the power goes out," Steve said. "It's not a safe. And this isn't a heist movie." Dustin pulled out a tiny flashlight on his keychain. "Speaking of movies, what's the plan for tonight?" "Ghostbusters?" Lucas asked, hopeful. "No, not again," Max piped up. "I was going to see if you guys had gotten Cat's Eye yet." "A kitty cat movie?" Erica said, dismissive. "I was hoping for something rated R." "You promised rated R." "Sorry," Lucas said to the group. "Mom and Dad are out of town. I had to bring her, and certain promises were made." Max laughed. It's not a kids' movie about cats. It's a horror anthology of different Stephen King stories. It's supposed to be wild. Well, that hardly matters now. Hello? We have no power, Steve reminded them. We could still do the scary story thing, Mike suggested. Might not be Stephen King level, and Drew Barrymore's not involved, but we can still get good and scared. Besides, what else are we going to do till the lights come back on? We could clean up, Robin suggested. A moment later, she added, Kidding, guys. Sheesh, tough room. All right, let's have at it. Anyone got a good scary story? Steve asked. Erica couldn't believe what she was hearing. Now you want us to tell scary stories? I came to the video store to be entertained, not the other way round, she said. What are you more afraid of, Erica? That we're telling scary stories? Steve asked, turning off his flashlight for effect. Or that we're telling them in the dark? Silence. They all looked at one another for the next few moments, almost afraid to make a sound. Though no one could quite put it into words, there was something terrifying, on a deeply human level, about saying what you feared out loud, when there was barely a beam of light to cut through. It was as if the darkness could somehow make those fears real. I've got one, Nancy finally said from behind one of the shelves. I've been researching Pennhurst lately, for a piece I'm doing for the paper, and the stuff that happens there would make your skin crawl. That got Robin's attention. Pennhurst? The place up the road? Oh, it's not just some place up the road. It's a hospital for the criminally insane, about 5 or so minutes away from here. It's been around for decades. The most violent inmates in Hawkins, all under one roof. Okay, I changed my mind. This sounds good, Erica said, taking some red rope licorice and sitting back against the shelves. She was ready to be entertained. Terrify me. Everyone in the group got comfortable as Nancy had the floor. She borrowed Dustin's flashlight and illuminated her face from underneath for effect. What I'm about to tell you is 100% real. It's a matter of county record. It's been documented by serious journalists and investigated by state and local authorities, yet still remains unsolved. It happened one night, on a night just like this, back in 1969. A patient complained about hearing. What do you think they heard? Stay tuned for the next installment.